I believe every dish and recipe carries with it a story. And I try to invoke that with every meal, and every ingredient is a culmination of my strength in knowing where I come from and the sassiness of being able to jump into a kitchen and change my mom's recipe. That takes a lot of courage in Mexican households to change what your mom made.
I find a lot of soul in my food, which makes it distinctly mine. The Genesis GV80 is definitely boundless by design. You're boundless by the possibilities, you're boundless by what you can do with it. It's similar to what it feels like designing a recipe. It's what can you do to make something that's good even better?
I'm Claudette Zepeda. I'm an adventurer. I am a lover of history. I'm a cook. I'm a cocinera at heart. And this is my origin story.
Today we're gonna do my favorite birthday celebration cake, which is my mom's pineapple upside down. As far as I can remember, this cake was a birthday cake for my brothers and I've asked my mom how this became our tradition, and she can't even really point the finger on where it was that we just decided this was the cake for our family. There's a specific trigger that smells have when they come out of the oven, when they're on the stove, and this cake is just one of those like skeleton keys that unlocks my childhood just by smelling it come out of the oven. Just time warps me to day one, to my roots, to my home, to my cultural heritage, to everything that is Mexico. Colorful music, women, style, fun, food. And it's evolved through the years, and this is my version of it. It's very comforting to eat it, and my kids love it as well. We are going to start making a sticky sauce, making it with piloncillo, which is an unrefined sugar cane, and butter with cream. And basically all of this with your aromatics, your orange zest and your lemon zest, turn it into this beautiful caramel that will be the base of the upside down, that stickiness that you want. I was raised between San Diego and Tijuana, and my entire childhood, we never had refined sugar in the house. It was always piloncillo was our sweetener. It's very unique. When you have piloncillo in any recipe, you can pick it apart and say that's not regular sugar, that's for sure piloncillo. This is going to be the sticky toffee sauce. That's going to be when you invert the cake. So once you have all your panela or piloncillo just broken down into smaller pieces, you're gonna transfer it onto your pot. I'm gonna just add the orange zest. My mom doesn't do that, but again, this is one of those things that evolves. My mom didn't know how to cook before she met my dad. And I remember vividly like what our kitchen looked like in TJ, and there was cookbooks, there's magazine clip outs, there's just like flour, rice, and my mom was just trying to learn how to cook, but also please my dad's crazy gourmand palate. It was a journey that she went through, and I'm forever grateful for my father teaching us how to eat. First time I made pineapple upside down cake, I was helping while I was sous chef to my mom around the age of 8, and that pride that I felt helping my mom and seeing everyone else eat it, and that's when I discovered just my love for feeding people. It wasn't even about eating the food myself, it was more or less looking at the joy in people's faces when they ate the food that I would make. And once it boils, you just kind of keep whisking it and breaking the surface tension. And within 15-20 minutes, it's already this light caramel amber color. It will reduce to the color of piloncillo. So the toffee sauce is now exactly that texture that you want. I have learn the tricks of the trade that really give me the perfect result, or as perfect as I can get it. And one of them is by doing the creaming method. So I'm gonna pop in my butter to just soften a little bit in my Amazon Smart Oven, and then we'll start creaming. Simple emulsification of the butter and the sugar will give you a super soft, fluffy cake crumb that you strive for. One of my favorite parts of being a chef is being able to give my food my voice. So I like to use cinnamon because I think it's obvious, but the star anise is something that I added. It gives That licorice quality, that little hint of spice, that depth, that fingerprint that we strive for, that's where you can make a cake go from my cake to yours. You get to choose your own adventure and recipes, where you want to go.
For me, finding adventure is traveling, and when people ask how I get inspired by things or how I write menus, how I think of food, it's really a culmination of music, art, and humans that really spark something in me to create, and it's to tell a story. All my food, regardless if it's sweet or savory, starts with a story, starts with an idea.
So now that I have my dry ingredients in my bowl, the butter has been creamed with sugar, I'm just gonna make sure I have all my wet ingredients. I'm gonna start with my eggs, just crack them into a bowl. And I have the buttermilk, the neutral oil, vegetable oil, you could do grapeseed oil. So the dynamic of this cake started to evolve into being Basque, Spanish flavor influences, because that's what we are in Mexico. We're an adaptation of a lot of different cultures together. It's beautiful to see that, because I think at the end of the day, we're all the same, and food is what unifies us. So you have your batters ready to go. And we're gonna let this rest before putting it in the cake while I put in the pineapples and the cherries. And these are just your typical dessert cherries, sundae cherries. When it's a nostalgic recipe, I try to stick to whatever my mom used. You can use fresh pineapple, but canned pineapple just ensures you have that sugar consistency throughout every single slice and ring. This is now the bottom of the cake, and once we turn it upside down, it will become the top. So this is what you see. You can make it as pretty or as organic as you want it to look. A big mission of mine for my kids is to remind them and show them where we come from. I do that. My vehicle through that is food. So I hope this cake reminds them of when they were little, and it reminds them of their roots, of where we started, where we come from. My first kitchen job, I was 5 years old. I was cutting up the lettuce and the radishes and the limes for the pozole at my aunt's. My aunt's restaurant opened as a 5-table, tiny little hole-in-the-wall pozole joint to a full-fledged restaurant, and that strength and that confidence that she operated in was something that I picked up on as a kid, and I didn't realize that until I became an adult myself. I recognized the fact that her strength is really the female strength in my entire lineage of women that have gone through it and have never once complained. So I have my cake batter. I'm gonna slowly pour it on top. Trying not to stick to just one area, and kind of carefully. And I like to look at the upside down part to make sure all the rings made it to the surface. Your foundation of pineapples, all the rings are there. Ready to go in the oven at 350 degrees, and let's go. I think luxury doesn't always have a price tag. Something that makes you feel good, or eating something that makes you feel good. It is jumping into a brand new car with that new car smell. So for me, luxury is definitely a feeling. This is the moment of truth. No matter how many years I have cooked professionally, I still get nervous about inverting a pineapple upside down cake. And because I am short, it takes a little bit of finagling. Big reveal when you peel back the parchment, is that all the pineapple stays, and it really embedded into the cake, and it did. I did it. I think my mom would be proud. I think it looks the way she would want it to look. And the consistency is soft, it's pillowy. When you pick it up, you can see the moisture that the toffee has given the cake. You can see the little vanilla specks all in there. We believe as a culture that when people go, the journey doesn't end, because the people still cook your recipes, the people still say your name. And to all my ladies, all my tías, my abuelitas, las señoras, you know, I just try to do them proud every day in everything I do. So this one's for them.
That hits the spot.
Every dish has a different kind of evolution, and it's very me. It's very sassy, it's spicy, it's acidic, it's thoughtful, it is unapologetic, which is all those qualities that I find in my personality. In my food, you can taste it. You can taste that loving warmth of a mother, that nurture, but that spunk, that don't take nothing from anyone, you know, that forward motion, I gotta get the job done.